Um, yeah, just talking about abundance in life and how it doesn't, how the conditioning of myself, the conditioning can be so strong that come from religion, the government, um, media, that then brainwashes people, and then it's dealing with people that are brainwashed. And I've been brainwashed by it all as well. I'm not immune to the what the beliefs that are within, like that are pumped into us really all our lives, about working hard, um, getting married, have kids, own a house. Why? Why do I have to comply to that if it's not my thing? And things like cars, motorbikes, flats, whatever, they are just that to me. I'm more interested in the spiritual life. But when you're living a prosperous, abundant life, and you might not be doing it conventionally, i.e., you might be on benefits, or you might have been left money, or whatever way. Like people can throw their stuff at you, like isn't the government great, and blah blah blah, and that. But no, the government's not great actually. The reason I succeed in life is to do with an abundance, and that I live an abundant life. And some people can't handle that. Some people want to knock that. Some people are frightened of that. They judge that. Whatever. I'm not really. I've been there myself, so I try not to judge them. I've been there, struggling, working hard in a taxi, paying big tax, and people are not doing much and they're living a better life than me or whatever. And it can, I understand it. I understand the conditioning that causes a problem. However, finance and romance, in my opinion, is no one's business. And sometimes I can open myself up by talking about these things to the wrong people. And basically, there's an abundance of whatever I need in the universe, and I live an abundant life. I think nothing is off limits for me in a material way. That spiritually, um, I look after myself, have a laugh, have good fun, and I put myself at the thing where I'm able to accept the gifts of the universe and doing really well. But why shouldn't I have a car or a flat or have a holiday? Why? Why not? You know, it's a shit society, and people like what people don't get is this government has turned us really against each other. That everybody is like worried about what you're getting and why are you getting it and why haven't I got it, or I'm paying for you or you're paying for me, or bloody 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 blah. And really, looking at the bigger picture, yeah, we're on a piece of dirt spinning around the universe, right? And none of it really matters. None of it. It's all an illusion anyway. None of it's real. You know really, what is the relevance of any of it? As long as you've got shelter and you've got some food and you've got some warmth, and some connection and some fun, I think you know there are people that are really struggling, and I understand that. And for me, it's not to buy into the fear factory of the mainstream media. It's an absolute fear factory of fear. That's all they're producing. They just want us all in fear. Why? Because it's easier to control us. And I live an abundant lifestyle. You could put me anywhere on the planet with nothing. Anywhere. You land me anywhere on the planet. Now, it would be incredibly tough. And yeah, you know, I might die. You know, that's a possibility. But if you just put me in a helicopter or a plane, balaclava with me, you know, covered my eyes up so I don't know where I am or where I'm going. Take all my clothes, or just leave me in my clothes, yeah? Just leave, we won't go too far with it. Just dump me anywhere in the world. Yes, I mean, if you put me in the Amazon or like in the Gobi Desert or whatever, yeah, my survival level for anyone is going to be very limited. But if there's a way, I would find a way to do it. That's what I'm trying to say. So there are certain things that if it's an impossibility of getting water and food, then obviously that there are places on the planet where you could die and you're likely to die. You know, if you was put on the land, you know, certain areas like where it's freezing cold, you know, or it's really, really hot and there's nothing there for hundreds of miles, then obviously no one can survive that. But other than that, you put me even in Syria in the middle of like all that rubble, I'll find a way. I'd find a way. You put me India, no money, no nothing, I would find a way. I know I'm a survivor and I'm not bigging myself up. We all have it within us to get creative and to think outside the box. And the reason I say this is because there's so much fear generated by the media that, you know, this is coming, this is going to happen, it doesn't really matter what you do. I'd find a way. You know, the main thing for me is I stay off drugs, I stay in recovery, don't gamble, all those things, look after myself, and the rest of it, I'll find a way to live. And I don't really give a damn about what other people are doing, and I don't like being criticised for my lifestyle, but I understand it. I've been there myself, and I forgive them. But what I need to do is not share my, you know, I can allow if people, you know, if people want to throw stuff, that's up to them. I don't have to keep putting myself there. I'm doing all right. I'm a success. I do have a severe mental health condition called puro OCD, and some people say it's not. But if you haven't got it, how do you know? If someone that's got, you never hear someone who's got puro OCD say that it's not severe, because they know it is severe and it is horrendous sometimes. But I'm actually feeling good today, and I feel alive, and I feel some freedom, and I feel like abundance is just stacking up. It's not just about receiving. I just have an absolute faith that there is an abundance in the universe, and I have the ability to tap into that and get whatever I need. And I'm not on about becoming a multi-millionaire, but so be it if it does. You know, even if I ended up with a top flat, whatever. I'm not really, I don't really buy into it all. There's always a way. There's always a way to survive, you know? And even like my friend says to me, you know, you might come here and never come back to England. It's possible. Highly unlikely, but you never know. I plan on coming back. But things work out, you know, and it's just about staying alive, staying fresh, keeping on top of it all, moving on, moving forward, and being in the higher power of the abundance. And I live an abundant life. I set myself certain goals, and I believe anyone can achieve an abundance in their life and be wealthy and be really being wealthy is a freedom of not being in fear, you know, the freedom to be, the fear doesn't, it comes in, but you don't go there because you know that you've got many ways to deal with stuff. And I'm a resourceful guy, and why wouldn't I have an abundant lifestyle? You know, why wouldn't I be able to go and see my local football team, drive a car and live in an okay property? Why not? Of course. You're going to begrudge me that? You can begrudge me it. I mean, I've been there myself, so I understand it. However, it's all to do with the conditioning. And I try not to take it personally, but when you get this conditioning that confronts you, it can make you feel bad about your own life, that you're doing something wrong, and you're not. You're living the way you can live, the way you want to live, and don't worry about what others think. That's their business. What other people think of me is their business. None of my business. And I just keep moving on, flying forward. And like I say, you can't stop a seagull from shitting on your head, but you don't have to let it build a nest. I'll leave it there. Abundance, baby. Yes.